It's the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and it's a time when quite a few of us or people decide to make promises to themselves or resolutions, as we will commonly call it. Yeah, which is always interesting. Um, Now, neither Steve nor myself want to be influencers or gurus, but yeah, I was just thinking about this yesterday, funny enough, because of a couple of things. Yeah, I did look around. And I think the most important thing always is to be yourself and be true to yourself. Yeah. Not try and do things. Yeah, okay, I want to be this and I want to be that. I want to do this. This is all very, very good. It's positive thinking, which is important. But I think sometimes we have to think about things also, which are traits that probably not us. And I saw this 5 things to quit. One is trying to please everyone. It's just never going to happen. Okay. Yeah. You yourself, you please the people important in your life, possibly. You're not going to please even them all the time. Fearing change. Yeah. Everybody's worried of change. This is happening. That's happening. Um, here's the thing, people. Life always changes. Whether it repeats the cycle or it does something else, it's going to always change for us as individuals. Living in the past. We all got a tendency to do this. We all think of things that happened 20 years ago. The reality is it's happened. It's in the past tense. Learn from it. Don't dwell on it. Hey, man, it's happened. Very often you'll meet people who you think you've wronged in the past. They've probably forgot totally about it because they've got their own things they're worried about. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, Putting yourself down. Well, this is very important because if you're putting yourself down, you do give the other people opportunity to put you down as well. So always think about what's positive in your life. Yeah. Try and build yourself up. If you've had any successes in the past year, good. If you've had a few failures, who cares? You're still here. You're still breathing. And hopefully you're still enjoying things. Yeah. And overthinking. Yep. I don't know if Steve will agree with me on this one. I certainly overthink things sometimes. I tell other people not to. I've learned as I get older not to do this. And I always tell younger people not to overthink everything. Think about things what you need to do. Yes. You can't be responsible for the actions of other people. You can try and anticipate, but don't go crazy about it. Because
Mhm.
yeah, as going back to it, fearing change is always going to happen. Things are going to change. Yeah. Just have enough of a life plan or an idea of what you're doing at the moment. I also saw a slightly longer one, which I think is very important. I mean, this is what I've just read to you is personal or seen. I think this is a good one for business as well. Let's balance it a bit and let's say, yeah, okay, this is welfare, well-being, our attitudes to business to help each other. Um, I would say this is quite an important one, staying physically active. I'm afraid we've all got a tendency now to stay in, watch different things, stay in front of a TV or a monitor or other things. Yeah. Um, so yeah, regular exercise increases blood flow. Yeah. This helps the brain to grow. So while we're pumping stuff around the body, our blood around the body, it goes to our brain as well. Our brain is a muscle. It's a very important, it's probably one of the most important muscles, if not the most important one to keep active. But yeah, should just try and keep physically fit and healthy. That doesn't mean run a marathon every week. If you've not run one in the past, yeah, don't suddenly get up on the first week in January and decide you're going to run 20 kilometers on the first day. Yeah, you will have an issue doing that. Okay. Eat a brain healthy diet. So look at foods again. I'm not nutritionist, a nutritionist, somebody that knows about healthy foods.
Nutritionist as well.
Nutritionist. Yes, thank you. I was mixing the Portuguese up with the English there. Yeah. Yeah. Try and incorporate foods with oxidants in them, healthy fats. And vitamins always good, minerals. Yeah. Plenty of advice, maybe seek some advice from someone. But yeah, try and have a reasonably good diet. That doesn't mean you can't eat that little bit of cake, because it's good to feel good about yourself as well. Another essential thing is sleep. Always get enough sleep. As we're getting older, I like sleeping, as I've realized. I like to have a good 7 to 9 hours sleep a night, depending on circumstances. Yeah. I was told this by a doctor in the UK. I think it's between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. is the ideal time to sleep as well as your core hours. Yeah. Again, it can change for different people. I used to have to work nights. I know how lack of sleep can affect you, your mental abilities, and physically as well. Okay. The other thing is challenge your mind. Again, don't go crazy. Do some puzzles, do some reading. It says learning a new skill. Again, that's up to yourselves. Maybe enhance what you already know. Again, probably flying in the face of my first one about physical exercise. But online, you've got things like Open Learn, where you can just learn about something that's new and do a quiz or a test about it that's structured. So again, it's like an online course that's for free. It's part of the Open University. That's one. There's plenty of others that can help you with things, help you with your career, keep your brain active. Probably read about healthy diets on it as well. So challenge your mind as well. Yeah, even if you're doing the puzzle books or things like this. Something that we're all increasingly feeling now for different reasons is stress. Managing stress is essential, probably more than it's ever been in the past. We've all got access to so much information, so much to think about. Worrying about money, which, okay, people say you shouldn't worry about money and wealth. Of course you should. It's essential to be able to afford things. But don't stress about it. Don't get stressed about your job. Set things you can achieve in your job. Yeah. So that's a very important thing, stress management. Again, there's lots of different conflicting advice sometimes about this. Pick something that's good for you. If you need to go for a walk to feel better, do that. Maybe you might need to do some different types of exercise. Yeah. Again, maybe speak to someone like this. Sometimes just sitting down and talking to someone generally about it can be helpful. It doesn't work for me personally, but yeah, sometimes just blowing up, even losing your temper in a room by yourself might be a way of releasing it. Yeah. Buying a punch bag, maybe. Stay socially connected. Again, what does this mean? It means don't be an island all the time. Maybe get out, go for a walk. Say hello to some people. I wouldn't say build necessarily strong relationships and engage in social activities, like it says here. That's not for everyone. But meaningful connections. Yeah. If you got somebody you can talk to, again, going down in a social situation, going to a park, you might have somebody you just bump into regularly. If you're doing some exercises or something. Yeah. Just talking to them. Good for them, possibly, and good for you. Obviously, don't be irritating. I would say that trying to engage with people online is not the best way. So if it's all typing and things like this, you miss different sort of connections that probably this is trying to say. So yeah, actual having physical connections face to face almost. Yeah, even if it's for 10 minutes, maybe. A very important one, limiting multitasking. Yep. Focusing on one task at a time. That improves concentration. So don't try and do 6 different things at once. Yeah. You'll just end up confused. Some people can. Okay. More play to them. Me personally, I have to jump from one thing to another to stop myself getting bored. But that's me. But I can sit down and read a novel or a book or something when I want to or I need to. There's certain things I should be focusing on. I don't always focus on personally, but hey, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that and get stressed. But yeah, it's it's a so again, beware of how much you're actually taking on. That's in your work life, your personal life, and others. Okay, and it says here, practice gratitude. It's good to reflect on what you do have as opposed to what you don't have. Yeah. If you have a healthy life, if you have your health, if you have good people around you, who can support you if need be. And I've seen an example of this in this past year with somebody else I know. It can boost your mood and promote positivity. Yeah, be in a positive mindset. Don't be worried about what you don't have. Yeah, if you haven't got the car that you want this year, it's not the end of the world. For example, yeah, just be grateful what you do have. That doesn't mean accept everything as it is, but be grateful what you have. Maybe look to build on. I know people say you need objectives and things like that. That's what they are. They're objectives. They're not the essentials. Okay, so I thought this was quite a good little list. The first one, 5 I read out, are probably good for your social being. The second one ties in. There's always going to be little bits of conflict between ideas. But yeah, you find the balance yourself. The most important thing is to do what's important for you. I'm going to say this, try and stay away from self-help books. The only people who promote them are people that write them. Yeah. These people that say they've gone from rags to riches, the good ones will suggest ideas or tell you, give an autobiography. They're probably the best ones to read, how they achieved it. Not somebody that's going to give you, like I've just done, okay, a list of objectives, suggestions. But yeah, I've seen some of these self-help group books, and I think they're actually quite dangerous myself, because you're trying to live somebody else's dreams or ideas as opposed to your own life. And that's very dangerous. Well, with that, I think I've had a brief overview. Over to Steve.
Right. Well, trying to be a feel well guru. I'm frightened that you're going to turn into a Richard Simmons of this world and stand up with those little short shorts on, and balance and wiggling about and trying to get everybody to be healthy and things.
Yeah,
let's start. Let's start at the top.
Yeah.
There's one, but you say don't read these books. But the thing is, the list that you gave out, you can find in these books.
Yeah.
So you don't read the books, just listen to me. Basically, is what you said.
Well, I did.
But let's plug ahead.
Yeah.
The first group of suggestions that you gave are trying to get on in life and trying to be successful in life. And there are degrees of success. You've got personal success, you've got financial success, you've got emotional success, each one has its own particular route to take.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of general success, and there's a book that you should read, written in 1928. By a guy called Napoleon Hill.
Maybe you mentioned
called
before.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. And every other book about the same subject is basically a copy of this Think and Grow Rich. All the strategies, all the different strategies, they're all noted in this book, Think and Grow Rich. It's just that the authors, the monk and the executive and all these sort of people. Yeah. They've basically just put their own spin on it, but basically it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I'll say to you, right? Think and grow rich. In terms of well-being, in general, yeah, you should do exercise, and I learned that the hard way. I became a couch potato after a lot of until 48 years old. I was doing martial arts. Then following my son playing professional football, I used to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 53, 54, I took a bit of time out and paid the consequences, stacked on a bit of weight, got a bit rusty around the knees and the elbows. And so, now I go back to the gym and do exercise at least 3 times a week, weightlifting and on the the walk mill and things like that, you know. Fruit and veg. Well, it's it's lucky that I'm on location here. I'm on our small farm. I'm thinking about naming our small farm FEFF Hall, because farm,
Yeah.
because what's it called? Jeremy Clarkson, he's got his diddly squat farm,
Yeah.
and I can have my F Hall farm.
Yeah.
We're both in the same ballpark,
Yes.
But I've got things like this, the mangoes.
Yeah.
I'm on a mango diet. Cashews
Mm.
or cashews as they're called.
Cashew nuts. Yeah.
A little bit of lemon to get and we've got noni, which is an African sort of fruit, which is supposed to cure all ills.
Yeah.
Pitomba, pitanga.
Yeah.
Oranges. Graviola.
Yeah.
All these names, I don't know what they are in English, I'm afraid, but because I've only encountered them here.
Yeah. But that's it. Yeah.
Acerola.
Yeah.
Acerola. Pina.
Mm.
We've got a little bit of everything. So, and luckily, not everything comes at the same time.
Yeah.
So you've got the seasons for the different sort of. The acerola can come like in March, April,
Yeah.
and now's the time for the mangoes and the cashews.
Yeah.
They come around sort of December, January time, which is always good round about Christmas time, New Year. So we keep up with the fruits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course here in the countryside, the air is different. Here is very hilly.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at what they call marmoset on the fence just across there. A little marmoset keeps on biting our fruit on the trees, so we have to try and of course we've got the goats.
Yeah.
The goats, the chickens. So we're almost self-sufficient here.
Yeah.
But next week I'll be back in the city. I'll be back in where I do my normal podcast from.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, running up and down hills here. It's if you want to do something, you've got to walk a long distance as well. So that keeps the cardiorespiratory system going.
Yeah.
Because you've got to walk a long way to do something.
Yes.
And if you forget something, you've got to walk all the way back to get it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I've been in the interior there. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of being social, look.
Yeah.
I used to be social a lot. I had to be because in the entertainment industry, no matter how big or how small your participation is, you have to deal with people.
Yes.
You have to put yourself in front of people, show them what you do, and hopefully they'll like what you do. It's not always the case. I'll tell you. I'll be quite honest with you. When it isn't the case, or if things go wrong, which they have done, with me, it's very embarrassing. But you have to get over it. You construct your personal fiber to you make a shell for your back so that it doesn't hurt all that much.
As the saying goes, what doesn't destroy you makes you stronger. So
that's right. Yeah. Well, which is the one about thinking about your past, thinking about the history.
Yeah.
We all learn by that. If you do make a mistake, you have to. It's easy to sit down and lick your wounds.
Yeah.
But you have to build on the mistakes that you made so that you don't make them again.
Better to try and learn from other people's mistakes.
Well, other people's mistakes are not necessarily you're not necessarily going to make.
Yeah.
Or where they went wrong, Perhaps
Yeah.
for you, you might go the right. It might be right for you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everybody's different. You
Yeah.
know,
Exactly. Yeah.
if everybody was the same, then this world would be a terrible place to live in.
Mm.
But somebody could try and do something which just wasn't right for them. I
Mm.
mean, we've seen them with people who try and be a sort of funny sort of person, but they aren't.
Mm.
And they
Yeah.
try it and they die a death.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody else, you can meet them for the first time, and it's like you're meeting your best friend.
Yeah. Natural
Yeah,
charisma. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And so, where they went wrong, perhaps
Mm.
for you, it is right if you've
Yeah.
got the charisma. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean,
So
yeah.
all of our um, routes, all of our paths
Mm.
are all different, all intertwined.
Yeah.
We're always going to meet somebody else as we go through life,
Mm.
and we're all going to meet with different tactics.
Yes.
Some of us will use the same tactics, some of us will use different tactics,
Mm.
but they all make up part of our. That's what makes life fun, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't expect unrealistic things.
yep.
You can dream,
Mm.
you can dream. I
Mm.
don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Um, but you've got to keep your feet. You've got to keep your feet on the ground.
I think they call it
You
based or grounded. Or used to call it grounded. Now they call it based.
Yep,
It's the modern
that's right.
vernacular for it. And
Yep.
it's um yeah, how you deal with situations. Sometimes it's yeah, keeping people a wide berth. It's probably best both for your mental health or yeah, being let's try and be positive about everything without being irritatingly so. Yeah.
Yeah. I,
Um
ju- I just think if you go through life and you make
yeah,
everything fun, as long as
yeah,
you enjoy what you're doing
exactly. Yeah,
in life, then you can't go wrong.
yeah.
You can be, if you're rich because of it, excellent. If
Mm.
you're poor because of it, excellent. At
Mm.
least you're doing what an awful lot of people in this world
Yeah.
are not, and
Mm.
that is having a good time.
Yeah.
And you should be able to have a good time, even when you come to difficult parts of your life.
Yeah.
You'll get through them. You won't die. You'll get
No.
through them, and you'll look back on them and have a laugh.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you'll continue enjoying your life.
Yes.
A lot of us do a lot of um, time-consuming things that we do with no reward at the end, but we
Mm.
enjoy doing it. So,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
if you make money at it, it's like having a paid hobby.
yeah. Well, it's like us with this podcast. I will mention it.
There
We
you are.
both enjoy
Yep.
doing it. I enjoy the
Right.
producing of it, and it goes out. It's yeah. Do we make any money from it? No, we don't. Do we enjoy doing it? Steve and myself have a bit of a laugh doing it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Um.
we wouldn't do, I wouldn't do it otherwise.
Well,
Yeah.
likewise. Yeah. You got two
No, nobody's
like-minded. Yeah. Yeah.
nobody has a gun to our heads saying you must do this podcast.
Yeah.
It's something that we do, we enjoy,
Yeah.
gives us time to reflect.
Well, yeah.
Puts you say about doing puzzles and things like that.
Mm.
You should always put little what's the word I'm looking for? Desafio, challenges to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at this moment in time, for example, I'm learning Arabic.
Mm.
You know, I forget an awful lot of it because it's a foreign language,
Yeah.
and the words are written in a different way.
Yeah.
But once I get into the throes of having the lesson, then a lot of the words I remember, and even if I don't know how to say them properly, when I hear them being said, I know what they mean.
Well, you got
If
time to
that
do
makes
it. Gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun doing it. I know Steve does enjoy this, and Steve, yeah, I'm gonna say it's what Steve enjoys doing. It's not something that necessarily appeals to me, but yeah, it's likewise to me with my science fiction liking and everything else. Yeah,
Oh
it's something
dear,
that gives
oh
me
dear.
pleasure. Yeah, so we don't talk about that, but it's a yeah, it's interesting. You said to me about the list I gave reflected back there. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. Again, this is a podcast. Just something I was just thinking about yesterday that, yeah, somebody says what resolutions you're going to make. And I realized I hadn't made any. And I thought, no, because I do what I feel like doing in the moment. I do what's necessary. I'm actually in a job I quite enjoy doing at the moment. It doesn't make me, I survive doing it. And I thought, well, I'm happy. If I was miserable, I'd be making resolutions. I follow everything else. I do the healthy things. I go for walk and exercises, probably what Steve
Yep.
does. I try to avoid having the issues that Steve has spoken about, especially here. And yeah, I know so many people around me who give up sometimes, basically. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're doing something that's detrimental to your health, like excessive smoking or excessive drinking, maybe you should have a bit of reflection on that. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for? I don't prohibit
No,
people from doing that if that's how they get their kicks.
yeah, but it's
Then
yeah.
so be it.
Mm,
In my
uh,
part, I've not made a resolution either,
mm,
uh, because I hate to disappoint myself.
yeah,
um, because there are
yeah,
people that make these resolutions and they don't keep them anyway. It's
yeah,
just like a tradition. But
yeah,
like I said, as long as you're happy each day,
yeah,
as long as there's not really anything personally that I want to do that I haven't done already. I mean,
yeah,
I've done parascending, I've been deep sea diving, I've
yeah,
flown in airplanes,
yeah,
I've gone through tunnels, I've done up in the air, down.
yeah,
Um, and so there's not a great deal left. I've traveled around. I mean, you and I, we've traveled here to Brazil
yeah.
from a foreign land. So we've traveled more than a lot of people.
Mm,
And I feel humbled when I speak when I listen to diplomats speaking,
yeah.
and they say that they've been to like 100 different countries, and,
But do
they take an aeroplane as if like it's a bus.
yeah, but what do they do when they're in that country? Um,
Well,
w-
take it from me that it isn't just a meeting and go straight home.
yeah,
They have a few days. I know this because I went to a congress recently,
okay,
and we
yeah,
had our time for sightseeing
yeah,
and for
yeah.
disfruiting the local
Mm.
pleasures. Let's just put it like that, you know.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
yeah, I'm used to more business things. You fly somewhere, you do the job you're doing, and then you're out again. So maybe, yeah, I'm going to look at a different angle. But yes, but yeah, it's I think understanding everything around you.
yeah.
But yeah, now's the time for reflection. Yeah. So all that's left to do is, I suppose, wish everyone a happy new year, and we'll see
Happy
you.
New Year, people. I'll see
Yeah,
you next year. We'll
yeah.
see you next year.
Okay. Cheers.
It's to tell them that it's today. This is live. It's the 31st of December,
Yeah,
2024.
yeah. Local time. It's about half past. I'll do it. It's about 10:30 Brazilian
There you are.
Brazilian time. So if you get to see
Yeah.
this about 11 o'clock, it's as close to live as I can do. Okay.
Yeah.
So happy New Year, Steve.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too.